S.H.I.E.L.D. is an organization in the Marvel Universe that fights for good. Most of the time. They're all about protecting the people of the world from things that they're not quite ready to understand yet, and their logos support this. They often use eagle imagery, as is the case with a lot of real-world American organizations, and there is heavy symbolism behind this choice. But what if I were to tell you that this symbolism also predicted the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. at the hands of Hydra years before it happened? Hello and welcome to the show with Issues. I'm Auram, and first off we're going to dive into the comics for a minute to talk about S.H.I.E.L.D.'s origins. For those that don't know, S.H.I.E.L.D. is an acronym. It originally stood for the Supreme Headquarters International Espionage Law Enforcement Division, and was idealized to be a branch of the US government, which explains the eagle in the logo, but we'll get back to that later. It was a plan first thought up by Tony Stark shortly after the return of Hydra, but the president declined Stark's proposal. He soon noticed the error of his ways, however, and decided to contact Stark and the United Nations to bring S.H.I.E.L.D. to life with a man named Rick Stoner as its acting director. Fury was later brought on as director after Stoner's death, but I already did a video on that back in season 1, so check that out, or don't. It's not very good. Anyway, time passed with S.H.I.E.L.D. doing what they do until a couple of life model decoys gained sentience and infiltrated both S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra, eventually causing the fall of both organizations. Robots are scary, guys. The world needed its S.H.I.E.L.D. though, so the United Nations once again formed the group, this time with the acronym standing for the Strategic Hazard Intervention, Espionage, and Logistics Directorate. S.H.I.E.L.D. went through a bunch more rocky times in the comics, but those aren't really important for this video, so let's move on. Most of you might know S.H.I.E.L.D. to stand for the Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division, which comes from the MCU.
Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division.
God, you need a new name for that.
Yeah. It's a combination of the two original names and has since been adopted into the comics to avoid confusion between mediums. Speaking of the MCU, I should clarify we're pretty much only talking about that version of S.H.I.E.L.D. for this video. We just needed to dive into the comics for the origin portion since that isn't very present in the movie/TV adaptations. Anyway, now that we've got S.H.I.E.L.D.'s namesake and origins covered, let's dive into the logos. Exciting, right? These are the two main iterations, one being this older looking symbol, which has been widely used in the comics for years, and then this new modern looking version, which was first brought to life in the MCU with 2008's Iron Man. There are countless other versions, but each and every one of them uses an eagle of some kind. Some are more intricate, some more simplistic, but the eagle is always there just the same. And I can't help but wonder why. Like I briefly mentioned earlier, S.H.I.E.L.D. was originally designed to be a branch of the US government, which essentially gives us our answer. This is the United States seal, eagle and everything. Look at the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo next to it, very similar. But here's the thing, S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't a branch of the US government. It's backed by the United Nations, which doesn't use eagle imagery anywhere. The UN could have changed Fury's original plan for the logo if they wanted to, so why didn't they? Let's take a look at the US seal again. It's made up of 6 parts, a bald eagle, a constellation of 13 stars representing the original 13 colonies, America's original motto in Latin meaning one out of many, an olive branch with 13 olives, a bundle of 13 arrows, and a shield placed neatly on the eagle's chest. We're gonna go ahead and remove the constellation and motto as they're not too important to the video. That being said, let's start with the basis of it all, the eagle. The bald eagle is the United States national symbol and bird. It was chosen as such because it lives a solitary, independent lifestyle where it can do anything it wants and go anywhere as it pleases. It represents freedom and the true American way of life. The eagle in the seal represents America itself along with its people. Next up is the shield-like symbol, which shares a huge resemblance to the American flag and is placed in the middle of the eagle. This position signifies that the United States was founded on its own virtues and nothing else. Moving on, in the eagle's right, talons is the olive branch with 13 olives. This represents the peace that America strives for, while in his other hand, / talons or whatever, is a bundle of 13 arrows, representing war and that the US is always prepared to fight if need be. Now let's pull back and notice one last very important detail, the direction that the eagle is facing. Its head is pointed toward the olive branch and away from the arrows, denoting that America strives for peace instead of war. The seal screams patriotism and a love for America, which is really what it should accomplish. But in the larger picture, it stands for being yourself, striving for peace and greatness, and being ready for the challenges that await you in your life. The UN kept the eagle around in the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo because it's what the organization wants to give the world. It's what they stand for. All of this great symbolism behind the US seal lines up with the classic S.H.I.E.L.D. logo, seeing as the eagles are nearly identical. They're loosely drawn and feel fluid. Then you have the modern S.H.I.E.L.D. logo, which takes the opposite approach. The newer eagle is very rigid and tense. It takes the smooth curves of the original eagle and straightens them out, even going so far as to reduce the number of feathers. Sure, this is in line with most modern, more minimalist logos and art, but that can't be the only reason for the logo change. The original symbol is still around and being used today, so why do we really have this new logo? The reason is simple. Hydra. If we look closely, the modern S.H.I.E.L.D. logo has 3 spaces between each feather of the eagle's wings. Then, looking at the Hydra logo, we see 3 tentacles on each side. And here's where things get crazy. If we overlay the modern S.H.I.E.L.D. logo over the Hydra logo, the tentacles appear to envelop the eagle. This sort of haunting by the Hydra logo represents Hydra's infiltration into S.H.I.E.L.D. and how successful they were at staying hidden. Now, if we line up the original S.H.I.E.L.D. logo and the Hydra logo, this imagery is not conveyed. That's because originally S.H.I.E.L.D. was pure and uninfected by Hydra. This means that the new logo was created specifically to demonstrate Hydra's influence. Although I guess you could argue that the use of the eagle in the first place was a decision by Hydra operatives, seeing as the Nazis who commonly worked with Hydra also used heavy eagle imagery. And if that hasn't sold you, I've got this one last detail for you, and it's again the direction the eagle is facing. Eagles in US government logos and imagery almost always face to the left. In the US seal, this symbolizes how America strives for peace over war, like we talked about earlier. This stays true with the original S.H.I.E.L.D. logo. Flipping over to the modern logo though, and we see again a key difference. The eagle is looking toward the right. Yep, Hydra even turned the eagle's head, changing the entire focus of the logo. It is now on the offense and ready for war, leaving peace behind. If you were keeping score, you'll know that this means that even way back in 2008, with the first appearance of the modern S.H.I.E.L.D. logo in the first Iron Man, 6 years before Hydra showed its head in the Winter Soldier, Marvel Studios already knew that Hydra was inside S.H.I.E.L.D. and was plotting to take down the entire organization. That or I'm just crazy and Marvel Studios just wanted to take a more minimalist design with the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo, and there's no meaning behind the change at all. Who knows? I want your opinion on this though. Do you think that there is symbolism behind this change? And what about the use of the eagle in the first place? Does it mean anything, or was it just an arbitrary decision made at the time of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s creation in the comics? Let's talk about it all in the comments. And of course, before you head out, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything that I upload every other Wednesday and every Saturday. We're now into season 3 of the show, as well as the show with reviews, so lots of cool stuff is happening that you won't want to miss. That all being said, thank you so much for watching. Next time I go to the mall with a copy of Hydra's logo and just put it up against a bunch of other companies' logos, just to make sure, just to check.